It is now 5 o'clock, and we can please take our seats so we can go ahead and get started. All right, the time is now 5:02. Our city council workshop session is now in order. All right, first thing on the agenda is the hearing the residents. Do we have anybody sign up for the hearing the residents for the workshop? No, so we'll move on to discussion items. One is the minutes, consideration or action regarding the approval of the council's workshop minutes on May 2nd. Any objections to the minutes, council? Do I have a motion to approve the minutes for the workshop?
So moved.
Second.
A motion made by Councilmember Hayward and seconded by Councilmember Brown. Any objections? All right, none. Let's, if you can cast your vote, please. We can publish the vote. We have 4 ayes, no objections, motion passes. All right, we'll move on then to our discussion item. Our first one is a workshop on Phase 2 of the skate park. This request was made by Mayor Pro Tem Macaluso and Ms. Shum. If you can share some info on the skate park.
So, Mayor, I've got a couple of comments before we get started. Councilmember Macaluso had asked for this to be put on. Just as a brief overview, the city staff did reach out to the SEDC board and with our parks portion of our capital improvement program, and they were amenable to funding the entire parks CIP. That included 3 projects that were listed in the MOU. I believe it was attached to this. I'm not really sure the link isn't working on my computer, but in the MOU, they're listed out as a 1, 2, and 3. And I'm sorry, it's included in the agenda item that's on the action agenda for the lights. The staff has gone to them and gotten the MOU that lists all 3 projects, but the funding is only for the first year. We will go back to the SEDC each year to get the subsequent funding. The reason why those are listed as a 1, 2, 3 in that kind of priority order, if you will, is the time that staff has available to do those projects, along with the other projects that are included in the operating budget. So we're a little bit limited on staff, so we're approaching those 3 years in a row, if you will, spreading it out for the available resources that we have in place to be able to implement those projects, even though the funding is secured. So Lauren is going to talk about Community Circle Park, which is the skateboard park Phase 2 is a component of Community Circle Park. And she's going to show some images and talk about that project. But it's not necessarily slated until 2 fiscal years from this upcoming fiscal year. So that's why we have this open forum for the council workshop. If there is a need to reprioritize or look at things differently, accelerate, et cetera, this is the opportunity for the council to discuss that and give staff direction on how we should proceed. So I'll turn it over to Lauren. I'm sorry, Councilmember Macaluso, do you have anything you need to, I didn't mean to jump right in there.
No, I don't necessarily have a presentation for it, but I did talk to Ms. Schrum a little bit. And, you know, this whole plan was conceptualized well over 10 years ago. And obviously I haven't been on the council for long enough to know, but I have not heard very much of anything beyond Phase 1. And it just seems like it's a project that it has a lot of potential for the community, and it seems like it's kind of just fall to the wayside. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. That's just my feeling on it. And so I just wanted to bring it back into the light because I do think it has a lot of benefits to the city. I think it's right in the, centrally located for everyone to have the opportunity to participate and use it. And just want to make sure everybody's even aware of it because there's probably a lot of people that don't even know what the plan originally entailed.
Good evening. Thank you. You're right. This original skate park idea has been a long time in the making, and I do have the original concept plan here from a decade ago, like you had stated, and this is what exists today as phase one. These three circles here, the bowls and the other things were left off, and the goal was to come back and phase it in over the years. We had struggled to identify funding, over the last couple of years, looked into grant funds and things like that. The problem with a lot of these grant funds is the projects that they're awarded to are multi-amenity projects. You get more points the more recreational amenities you have. And so you have to pick the right project to go for those grant funds, which is why we had gone with projects like Hilltop Park, for example, instead of just a skate park. But as we started to look into this, we realized we had a bigger need in this area beyond just that skate park, with the parking that was value engineered out over the years when we did the ballpark expansion. And just wanted to show you here online, we do have this under our park development community tab online. When we came up with this concept plan in about 2020, I want to say, when we came to council to talk through it and figure out a way to add back in the parking that we needed there at the ballpark when we have major tournaments, even regular game nights. If we have something else going on at the Civic Center, it's problematic. We don't have enough space. And then if we have a busy day where we have, something going on at court, something going on in the community center, a lot of people at the dog park, there's just not enough parking. So we looked at that, and then we looked at approaching this based on feedback we had from Parks Board over the years. What are we doing for teens in the community? We had a lot of youth programs. We have a lot of adult stuff we're doing now. We're kind of missing that middle segment of the teen population. So that's how we came up with this idea to do sort of a teen adult theme park. There's not a little kid playground here, right? It's just going to be the full build out of the skate park, and that rendering there does show all the originally designed bowls. It's going to include that double sport court you can see there for more basketball. It's going to include the adult and teen sand volleyball area to do sand volleyball leagues. And we are working as well with a sand volleyball group out of San Antonio that is looking to provide some funds as well to have some naming rights for that volleyball facility in honor of one of their friends who passed away, who was big in the sand volleyball community. And they're telling us there's a lot of need in the area for sand volleyball courts. So we think it's going to be a very popular feature. Looking at incorporating art, I know that's a concept we've talked about a lot here. How do we do more public art? So, we named the street Community Circle. Let's tie in the circle, right? We've got the roundabout, so we've kind of thrown in some ideas there for some circular art we can incorporate. We're talking about expanding the dog park. That's another big need. A lot of people use that dog park. It has been loved to death. There is no irrigation there. It was kind of just something that we were able to throw together a couple years back. But at this point, it's a total rebuild. We have to go in and, close it down, put in new turf, irrigation, and do it right, and hopefully expand it. And then we've got the box concept there that you see. It's using sea containers and making a cool hangout place for teens. We've got the graffiti walls there, like we've talked about. Maybe we'll give them a place to graffiti. They'll stop doing it in the drainage ditch. And then we've got, hammocks. And the thought was maybe there would be a potential also for like a concessionaire opportunity there, like a little coffee shop maybe. I know you guys have seen the exodus from the high school when school gets out and they all walk this way. The thought was, hey, maybe a coffee shop might do well there. We've also talked to those business owners in the strip center on Schertz Parkway. The pizza place is really excited about the possibility for the sand volleyball behind there. You know, he's thinking he could be doing some specials on those nights when sand volleyball is playing. So that's sort of the concept in a nutshell. There's still some open space there to hang out, have some special events and things like that, smaller things. Obviously, you know, beautiful landscaping, more parking. And it also bumps out into the ballpark a little bit with some additional parking right in front of the ballpark. You know how they all want to just park right there by the gate? So we bumped that out a little bit, put some parking there, and added a playground inside the ballpark as well to match what we have over at the soccer complex, because we do have a playground at each sports facility except that one. So wanted to add that in there. So that's kind of the concept. Again, the timing due to staffing, you know, we're hoping to be able to get a park development manager in the future to help us with this workload, all these capital projects. But also it's timing. When we got these grants, they're on a timeline. And so we've got to do those grant funded projects first, the Hilltop, and then we'll get going on this. So that's sort of the plan. Any questions?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for providing the long-term plan of what we want to do with the park. The question was on this one is the skate park. At what point would this skate park be part of it? Is it on the first year, second year, or third year?
So this project would not be phased at this point. This would be all designed and engineered, and then construction would start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Currently, this is a $10 million project or so?
Correct.
And it would be the entire project
The entire
together.
project.
Yep. Because of the EDC funding that we're going to work with them on, so.
All right. Council. Councilmember Hayward.
In this concept, I didn't see a pickleball court.
Touche. Okay, we will multi-stripe the courts now.
Basketball courts for pickleball.
It may come up again, yeah. When we go through the actual, construction plan process, we'll probably do one more meeting and maybe it'll come up. But yeah, we got pickleball planned for Parklands, that park down there. We'll hopefully be able to squeeze it in other places, but.
It seems like although it started way back in the day, it seems like it's just taking on its whole new life of everybody wants it, from the young to the old.
That is true. We are doing some pickleball clinics for kids as well as adults, and it's catching on. So we might want to see if we can squeeze that in there.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem Macaluso.
Yeah, just to be clear, my hope is to have more light on the entire project, not just the skateboard phase 2 part. My understanding was that it was all kind of together in one, and so that I might have used the language of skate park 2, but I really meant the entire project.
Yeah, and I think we need to do a little bit better job of trying to market this as we go through this master plan process. We've talked about that, where we call our park, we have this Schertz dog park, we have the Schertz skate park, because at the time we only had one. Now this is going to become Community Circle Park, and it's going to include all these amenities, and we're rebranding it in a sense, so we need to do better about kind of getting the word out about what it is.
And just looking at it, I mean, I'm trying to think of, in our area, I can't think of a project that's similar to that, especially with the sand volleyball courts. Because, not that I do sand volleyball, but I remember hearing at a time that the nearest area for high school athletes, whoever, to even participate with that is in San Antonio, near the airport area. And so it's I like the design that they had. Obviously, pickleball wasn't really even a thing when they probably developed it, but I think it has a lot of potential, and I think it would really make the citizens happy.
I agree with you. It will not be matched in the area. The closest thing is probably Fisher Park, just a little bit different though in New Braunfels. But yeah, it's going to be very unique. They're not going to have this. And yes, the volleyball, like I said, that volleyball community is very excited about this. Again, there's something in Seguin, but it's not quite the same. And then there's something at Sideliners in San Antonio, and it's definitely not the same. This will be premier, so we think it'll be a really nice project.
Councilmember Gibson.
I didn't see in the concept, and maybe can be further looked at, but I only saw that there is, I'm waiting for the image to come back up. There's only, we could pause it right there if possible. Maybe not, it's already on the slide.
I can't, sorry.
It's okay, no. So I saw that there's a covering for the volleyball area, like there's areas for them to sit down, take a break, and
Yes.
breathe. But for the basketball court areas, there isn't, not even one, like if there was just one short shaded area also for them. I mean, basketball folks get, have a heat stroke, but the volleyball folks have a area to rest. And
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a horrible joking way, but just wondering if there could be just a small concept. It didn't have to be huge, but just an area where they could have just one shaded area. It didn't have to be on both sides, but just one area where somebody could just
Yeah.
take a rest.
That's a great point, yeah. Integrating a little bit more shade would be good, yeah. We do have some trees, but it takes a while to get big enough, so.
Yeah, they're not going to be full grown. Yeah. Just looking at safety precautions all the way around. And do we have, I didn't hear you say, do we have, will we have any irrigation or any like fountains or anything out there?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
This
got it.
entire place
The
would
whole
be
thing.
irrigated, and then we'd
Got
have,
it.
water fountains throughout. And that's another good thing that the sand volleyball community let us know. You have to have water available to water down the sand.
Yeah.
And so we've already got all that planned into this.
Perfect. Thank you.
Council, any other comments, questions?
I just say it's awesome and way to put Schertz on the map.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Can't wait till you
Agreed.
start moving dirt. All right, thank you, Ms. Schramm. All right, item number 3, we actually have a workshop, review ordinance 23M28, our city council code of conduct and procedures. We passed along a sheet. I take it, I hope council had the time to review the code of conduct and procedures. And if there's any questions that you all may have, we can go ahead and open it up for discussion. The reason this was brought up is, we had council sign this off when we first brought up the code of conduct and procedures, and I think there's only 2 individuals that are left on that signage, myself and Councilmember Davis. And I think it's important that every time we have council, new council, it should be brought up so we all can agree on the conduct and procedures. Hence, that's why we brought it up for a workshop discussion. With that, any comments from council? No comments, no questions? No questions. If you can please sign the document and just pass it over to Ms. Edmondson, our city secretary, or our deputy city secretary. There's nothing else on the agenda to discuss. So, with that, we're going to go ahead and finish early. The time is now 5:19. We stand adjourned.